Good morning, Fit.Church. It is great to be with you on this Wednesday morning. And today we're going to continue to talk about going through some difficult times in life. And I've entitled this devotional, Pushing Through the Anguish. And I want to read to you from James chapter 4, verse 8. Come close to God, and God will come close to you. I want to read that one more time. Come close to God, and God will come close to you. Now, obviously, the next few days have been born out of my time I've been spending with my friend Perry as he's walking out what appears to be his last days on earth, unless God does a miracle. Well, does it ever feel like grief or hardship or difficulty or even life itself is just trying to break you? And I think we can all understand those moments. I know I really, really do. I've lived in that place of pain or that tragedy or illness that hits like a missile that just goes right to the very heart of who we are. And it's in those times that we may never be able to live and feel again. At least that's how we feel it is going to be. But for many of us, we just wish that we could get back to the norm. We just want things to go back to where they were. They don't have to get a lot better than they were before, just back to what was considered normal. But we have to remember, hardship and trials and even pain itself is not our enemy. You see, we live in a broken world, and pain is evidence of that reality. It reminds us that the enemy of our souls desires to take us down by keeping us in a pattern of broken living. Pain is the reminder that the real enemy is trying to take us out and to bring us down by keeping us stuck in broken places with broken habits and in broken relationships. Pain at times can be a gift that can motivate us to fight with tenacity and determination, knowing that healing is on the other side. It can be at the other side of the situation. It may be, in the case of death, on the other side of eternity. But what about the time of the in-between? That desperate places where we aren't quite on the other side yet, but our heart still feels so tender and hurt. You see, pain is an invitation for God to move in and to replace the void with His love. Now, I'm not writing and sharing, and I don't write my articles and share scriptures as platitude or as little trite sayings. I share from the depth of a heart that knows it's the only way we can move forward. We have to invite God into our pain to help us survive the desperate in-between time. And the only choice that we need to make is to embrace the pain. The other choice is to run from it by use some form of numbing. And many of us have done that already in our lives. We've used food. We've used our careers, achievements, drugs, alcohol. Some have used sex. Some use power and fame. But none of those things actually addresses the deeper issue that's going to help us to be healthier. We can even give up our food or our addiction, whatever it might be. But that will not in and of itself address the deeper wound that's crying out for help. We think we're freeing ourselves from the pain when we numb it. But the reality is, if we avoid the hurt, if we run from the pain creates a void in us, And it slowly kills the potential for our hearts to fully connect with God, receive healing, and love again. It even can steal the best of our relationship with God. So pain is the sensation that indicates to us that transformation is needed. There's a weakness. And when there's weakness, new strength can come in through the power of God's love, and we can receive restoration, renovation, maybe even revival. So how do we get new strength? How do we stop ourselves from chasing what numbs us when the deepest parts of our lives scream for some relief? How do we stop piercing the pain of this minute? How do we stop that? That deep wound that just is screaming every moment of the day. We draw close to God, and He draws close to us. When we draw near to God, He will draw near to us. That's what I just read in James 4:8. And on the days when my heart hurts and my words feel like they're flat, I let Scripture guide my prayers. I let Scripture speak for me. So I want to encourage you today. Our anguish may be deep, but Psalm 91 says, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. So we embrace the pain, we push through the anguish, and we draw close to God, and He draws near to us. And in that relationship, we find strength and healing and restoration, no matter the turmoil around us. Your triple D for today is, I want you to share with the rest of us, how is it that you're going to draw closer to God today? And then as you do that, share again with us what it is that God did that made you realize He was drawing nearer to you. God bless you so much. Know that we're praying for you and we believe God's best for your life.